find unders, but I found 3 unders and 3 overs that are interesting. So let's go to the conferences first. The one that jumps out to me, let's start in the AFC. For our radio audience, Bills 11.5, Dolphins 8.5, Jets 5.5. The Patriots at 7.5 to me feels like an over. Massive upgrade on coaching staff. Also, they were 3-6 in one-score games with a rookie quarterback. So there's going to be an ascension. They're going to be a better one-score game team. They spent almost $200 million in free agency. I would bet the over on the Patriots.
Yeah. There seems to be this real battle back and forth between who, are the Patriots overvalued? Are people too high on them, et cetera, et cetera. I think not. I think the Patriots can have a lot of success this season. And when you have a quarterback who showed a lot of talent, and he did so in a very uneven, just disconnected situation, that makes it me even think even higher of you as a quarterback. And I just think bringing in Mike Vrabel and the pieces that they brought in, that defense is going to be legit. I think the offense is going to be able to take a big step forward. And, to think that there's not going to be a big step forward here. Like, if we just look at it like this, they won 4 games, and they had the 30th ranked offense and the 22nd ranked defense, and they won 4 games. Heck, they're averaging 17 points a game. I mean, the fact that they even won 4 games is pretty impressive. And they started off with Jacoby Brissett. I don't remember how many games he played, but the first couple games or whatever. We know this defense is going to take a big step forward. It just has to. First off, just from a personnel standpoint, but then also bringing in Mike Vrabel. I would be stunned if the defense wasn't good or even went backwards. Now you're talking about also improving from a coaching and roster construction this offense. That alone should take a big step forward. Not to mention your now rookie quarterback is no longer a rookie, will have more experience, will have a better defense to work with, et cetera, et cetera. That is going to take a step forward. So when you put that all into context, thinking that essentially, when it's 7.5, you're kind of looking at it at 7. So you're thinking, will they win 3 more games than they did last year, or at least 4 more games than they did last year? What's the answer here? And it's just like, I have to imagine that they are going to be able to come away with 4 more wins. That bringing in, upgrading defense, upgrading offense, upgrading coaches on both sides of the ball. Your rookie quarterback is now also should be upgraded, because not only because of the situation, because of the coaching, but because he's going to just be in his own core a better player, because he's now grown, evolved, more experienced, etc. Like, how it's hard for me to see they don't get there. It's hard for me to not see them be upgraded. Now, some of this will depend also on kind of like the Dolphins and the Jets more than anything. Also, the schedule. When this, not like who they're playing, but when they're playing. Do they play the Bills at the end of the season? The final game? Do the Bills care about that game? Have they already locked up the division? Have they already locked up the 2 seed or the 1 seed or something? Like, that matters. The Dolphins and the Jets, like, has Justin Fields actually emerged as a great quarterback? Is he actually like a pretty good quarterback now? Or are the Jets still an absolute mess? And the Dolphins, right? Like, is Tua playing? Unfortunately, that's the reality of Tua, and I hate it. It's a bummer, because I want the guy just to be healthy and safe and all of that. But like, is Tua actually playing? Like, when you're just when you're trying to look at the projected win totals, like, first start in your own division and who you're playing and when you're playing. You got to feel pretty good if you're playing the Jets week 3. The Dolphins, toss up. Is Tua on the field? Yes or no? Because they are a pretty decent team when Tua's on the field. And then again, the Buffalo Bills. Are you playing the Buffalo Bills like week 2 when they're just like fully healthy, ready to get after it, ready to, for redemption from their last year? Or are you playing like a, week 11, kind of already in the grind? Josh Allen's a little bit banged up. He hurt his wrist the week before. It's probably going to be a little bit less physical in this game, whatever the specific situation is. Are you playing again, final week of the season? I think when you're looking at a team like the Patriots at this point in their their rebuild, their whatever we want to refer to them as, you really want to kind of zoom in. Those things matter more than, say, for other teams. Those types of questions that I'm asking matter so much more for the Patriots than for like the Bills, than the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Eagles, etc. But it mattered a lot for the Commanders. It mattered a lot. Oh, you're playing the Cowboys without Dak Prescott? Okay, well, that's a big benefit for you. That's obviously that's been a big benefit for any team. But like your win total, that's going to help you out a lot more. That's gonna help you out a lot more. Did you play the Steelers when they were firing at all cylinders, or did you play the Steelers when they started to collapse? That matters. Oh, you're playing the Eagles without Jalen Hurts? Okay, well, that matters. That matters. All of these. You played the Bucks before they got decimated with injuries. That matters. So those things, like, it becomes a lot more dependent on the external circumstances when you're a team that's going to just be, probably a little bit less resilient than compared to some of these more top teams. I think 7.5 is an interesting total because I could see the Patriots winning. Again, it's just so hard, especially before we actually really know the order of the schedule and what these other teams actually look like when it's all said and done, post-draft, etc. But yeah, I could see the Patriots legitimately getting a wild card spot. But truthfully, I think the wild card is going to be pretty intense. Like, I think football is going to be pretty fun with the wild card here. I think it's really going to be like, oh man, who is it going to be? Because you're going to have the Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders fighting. You're gonna have the Patriots and probably the Dolphins, fighting, and the Bills, I guess technically as well. You're the wild card, I think, is gonna be kind of a mess. And who knows? Maybe the Colts and the Jags can kind of like take a step forward. And if they do, then you're dealing that with the Texans. Like you're just gonna have enough teams that can kind of gather a fair amount of wins together that really, things can get kind of crazy. They got a little crazy last year, but for kind of different reasons. But I'm predicting that the wild card is going to be pretty contested. Do I think any other team has a chance to win the division for the East? No, I do not. So, which only makes obviously the wild card more these divisional games, especially some of the games that should be easy wins, like versus the Jets, like you got to come away with. So, I'm excited to see what the Patriots do next season, honestly. But 7.5 is probably like the perfect spot because if they're going to actually like win over 7.5, it'll probably be like 9 games, unless Drake May really pops. Unless he really pops and is really grounded and really, shapes up to be like a legitimate future top quarterback in the NFL, and he's able to kind of just like really get that ball moving, rather quickly. If that's the case, then kind of who knows? Then it's kind of, for me, if that ends up being true, then it's like, well, then all bets are off. Anytime a quarterback like really just pops, then you're just like, well, I have no idea now, because it's just like, I thought Jay Daniels was going to be special and a great quarterback, but like he was even better than I thought. And it was just like, all right, well, at that point, it's just like, can they beat the Eagles in the NFC Championship game? I'm like, dude, Jay Daniels is balling so much. Like, sure, why not? I mean, at this point, why not? I have no, I got no idea how much magic this guy's got, right now. So to me, that'll probably technically be the biggest question mark, because you don't really know who Drake May will be and when he will be it. But either way, at least there is some positivity for the Patriots. I remember last offseason making a video saying the Patriots aren't going to be very good, and people were so angry at that, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, this is not going to be a good season for you. And they're like, no, yes it is. And they tried to like tell me all the reasons why, and it was like, well, they didn't end up having a great season. So at least now this season, fast forward a year later, there's like some legit momentum, legit optimism, some excitement, and you can actually contend for a playoff spot. You know, that's phase one of all of this. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the New England Patriots and their over/under win total? Colin picking the over. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.